everybody, welcome back to Northernlion plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. We got 3 wins in a row. You don't count your chickens before they hatch in this business in this day and age, but here we are. A little justice. Terrible DPS, but, you know, that can come in time. KL0M DFP6. Having a decent run. Much better than, you know, let me put it this way. The last week and a bit has been, let's say the last 10 days, has been a lot better than the week or two that preceded it. We've been in a little bit of an Isaac rut, but I think that the writing is on the wall that we can escape from that rut. All we need to do, you know, double down on being sensible. Kind of, you know, I think the more you take your mind off the actual gameplay with you're letting yourself get into that so-called flow state, the better off you do. The more you talk about Isaac, there's a weird correlation-causation issue there, because the more you talk about Isaac, probably the harder the run actually is, because you're not able to distract yourself from the actual mechanics of the game. You have to talk about it in order to stay focused, but, you know, I think it benefits you. It behooves you. Sometimes, when you're not actually focusing on the task at hand, when your mind is occupied by something else, frees up your subconscious to, you know, just act on base instinct or something like that. And in a situation like this, it can be very helpful. Let me say, by the way, I just noticed we started with raw liver as one of our items. Were it not for that, we would be in a much scarier position, because raw liver, I think it's given us all of our red hearts. If we started this run with 2 spirit hearts, you know, you can find yourself rolling downhill pretty quick. Now, the good news is, I mean, there's not a whole lot of bad news except for our rate of fire right now. But the good news is, golden teleporter plus a few bombs is deal with the devil access. It's not particularly strong. And deal with the devil access equals leverage golden teleporter. Or sorry, leverage raw liver, I should say. Pick up your HP, and you're off to the freaking races, you know? You're hopefully picking up some kind of DPS improvement, and you're good to go. So I will not spend a bomb to get potentially 5 to 7 cents. Good, I guess it could be 0 to 7 cents, but I think we're better off trying to use our bomb to access the second secret room, or to kill the boss for that matter. And now we have guaranteed deal with the devil access, which is worth a lot in today's economy. You know, to be able to leverage your HP for damage is going to help us out a lot here. I will say, fighting the haunts, it's a champion, I think it's a spider haunt. Does whatever a spider can't. That's Kant as in the philosopher, not as in anything that the Google DeepMind language filter would find upsetting. This is horrible, but it's not quite as bad maybe as, like, you know, champion Ragman with low DPS. I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm not just trying to, you know, create engagement here. I wouldn't be surprised if we lose our Eternal Heart. I don't think it's the most likely scenario, but I definitely think it could happen. Either way, it's gonna be a bit of a long road here. That's okay. As long as, you know, this could be the turning point, yikes, for the whole run. You know, and it's only the first floor. So I'm willing to suffer a little bit of indignity just to make sure that we got a chance in the future. Oh, that was a lucky little pivot there. Keep it up. At this point, I'm coming pretty close to just focusing on taking him out, but, you know, you kind of have to take out the spiders at some point. They really, each spider almost has like a sphere of influence where it takes up more, it's got a little radius around it where you can't really safely feel comfortable dodging. And if you can't feel comfortable dodging, you know, that's gonna inhibit your ability to handle the fight to begin with. This is for all the marbles right here. Oh, that was a big miss. Oh, never mind. We're safe. We got damage, although minor. This is the shop, you idiot! You Absolute fool. I am a dummy. But there is a chance. I mean, obviously, I left myself in a pretty unfortunate situation there. I should have just gone to the shop. I forgot about it. However, money, please. We owe a great debt of gratitude to the existence of the money in that situation. So now we will get 9 volts. We'll teleport. There's our deal with the devil. And it's extremely great. Now we can fly. And this is a health up. Told you. Yeah, I mean, this is much better. We don't actually... Our DPS is still pretty bad. Empty Vessel, I don't even think it'll work for us yet. Because we should be not flying because of our HP. However, we will... as a result of this, if we trade on our deal with the devil here, we're in a great spot to have flying and hopefully to get something good for the HP to begin with. So, DPS still... Oh, that was bad. DPS still pretty wonky, but there's a way out for us. We got 2 very good items from the deal with the devil there. Certainly, like, we're happier to have them than we would have been to have the HP instead. Okay, appreciate the spirit hearts. We will peep the curse room. Pretty much have to peep all rooms if we're going to be rolling Gul'dan Teleporter. And, you know, anything we get inside of the room is a bonus. Deal with the devil is basically... Might as well use it. It's a small floor. Or we have more than enough rooms to get it back, even though it is a small floor, I should say. We should be able to get an error room on this floor. And I gotta let you know, I don't know how much we're gonna leverage the whole run for error rooms, because at some point, you know, you end up with these runs that are just of a staggering length, potentially. And if it seems imprudent to go to every room if we got the chance for more of a rush down, then we may not, but that's very unfortunate. Wait, what is not the kind of item we really need right now. You know what is, though? Small rock, as located inside of this tinted rock right here. No, that's okay. We need the keys regardless. It's fuel for exploration. You know, for getting error rooms and devil deals and whatnot. Anyway. How am I doing? I'm doing well. Just recorded some... It's always illuminating. Record with Mathis and Dan. We have a tendency to talk about inside baseball stuff. It's almost like a YouTube Twitch therapy session. It's very nice. So we did that. Apart from that, pretty, you know, low-key week. As Larry David said in Curb Your Enthusiasm, I don't live it up. I live it down. Last night, the highlight of my evening, well, apart from, you know, of course, streaming for all of you lovely folks, I went and I got groceries. That's about it. But, you know, can I tell you something exciting about groceries? Help. Help. That's supposed to be Luigi saying help in Mario Maker. Hold on. Hold on. This is one of those you hate to see it sort of moments, huh? This is actually, like, I don't want to say catastrophic, but really unfortunate for us. We've had a series of unfortunate events of the lemony snicket variety here. Getting groceries, you know, the highlight, dude. Cashews were on sale. They're normally like $3.49 per 100 grams. This is an expensive nut. Peanuts are like 80 cents per 100 grams. They were on for $2.49. It was like an episode of Doomsday Preppers in there. I went nuts for those cashews. I don't know. You're in the bulk section. I don't know how much one pull on the bulk handle is. Ended up getting like 800 grams of cashews. It was beautiful. I had a wonderful time. But I mean, it's a lot of cashews. I'm not going to deny that aspect of it. We're in a weird spot here because we got, like, I know we're going to get secret room access. And then our next will be the regular secret room because we got second secret room on that one. I'm just hoping there's a reroll machine, and there is not. So I think what you do is you buy a bomb and you swing for the friggin' fences, dude. And I think... Is this a tiny room? It's not a tiny room. So I think the secret room is right here. That's a big get. Like, actually a huge get. Then we should be able to spin this out into an error room. And if I get a garbage item, I will probably Alt F4 and never play this video game ever again. That's a hollow threat, but I don't want the game to know that yet. First, I do want to check and see, is there a Deal with the Devil still open? There is not. So we will teleport. It's the error room, and it's not very good, to be quite honest with you, but it does give us some fuel for the next floor. We might as well pick this up first. I'm not going to waste my time, become another casualty of society, just whiffing around in here. Don't sweat it. We got a long way to go. Considering, I mean, I'm not complaining about Empty Vessel. I'm not complaining about Incubus. Both of those have been huge. But considering all the opportunities we've had so far, I am a little surprised that we're still, you know, as underpowered as we are right now. But that's the great thing about Golden Teleporter, is that it's basically, I think you could think of it like it's 1.5 item rooms per floor, just in terms of value. And that's kind of like a meaningless abstraction of value in Isaac, but you know, you're gonna get a Deal with the Devil on most floors. You're gonna get an error room on most floors, especially early. So over time, it has a high potentiality, not just to be correlated with a winning run, but to be one of the reasons a run goes from, you know, mediocre to good enough. Unfortunately, in the meantime, it's going to take us a while to get there. And that's okay. Life goes on. I mean, like, very slowly, but hey, I don't know. What's the thing? Do you want life to go faster, or do you want it to go slow? I don't know. It's weird, because if it goes slow, you're probably not having that great of a time, but if it goes fast, it feels like it's over sooner. You know what I mean? It's like a movie. I don't know, movies are weird in that sense. Like, when I saw Midsummer, I loved it, but I was like, this movie's 5.5 hours long. It's not, it's like 2 hours and 20 minutes. When I saw The Lion King, I was like, this movie was 52 minutes long. It's actually like 2 hours. But The Lion King is not nearly, it's not half the movie that Midsummer is. It just moves quick, you know? Midsummer moves unbelievably slowly, but in like a good way. So I guess it's not the, you can't really oversimplify it, I suppose. Please, DPS. At this point, we definitely want to ensure that we get a Deal with the Devil chance. You know, even if the odds are only 1/3, it saves us having to buy a battery charge, which is, it's not the money, Lebowski, it's much more the fact that, like, if we have to buy a battery charge, you know, that requires the shop to have a battery charge, which is not always going to be the case. I don't really care about the money there. I'd rather use a bomb to access the room secret. That was very close to taking some damage. Excuse me, my charmed friends. Please, Pyrrhic victory one another. Where did you come from, then? I'm like... Did I charm you room to room? What happened there? If you would leave a charmed enemy alive, do they become your friend? Or am I missing something with another item here? Okay, so I'm just gonna say that for, you know, sense and sensibility purposes, for mental health, I think you should probably expect that we will take damage before the boss fight, unless we get lucky and get a great consumable drop. Dude, straight up, this is a great situation. I think we'll Diplopia this right here. And this actually just gave us another charge as well, which is really nice. But I think I will use... Let's save the Emperor card. It's close. I want to fight the boss right away. So that we have a, you know, we still have our Deal with the Devil chance under protection. But, like, I don't want to fight the boss right away, because you know, given the speed at which we're going through this run right now, if we can save an Emperor card for maybe, like, the Womb 1, that would be very helpful for me. Because we're probably not going to take advantage of Golden Teleporter down there. But I think, you know, this is one where if we play lazy, we're going to be rewarded, you know, accordingly. So I think we got to do our due diligence on this one, which is fine, you know? It's nice to have a run that tests you. And I'm never going to turn on my nose at something like a golden, not golden teleport, a champion belt. You know, to basically go up like, you know, we didn't quite double our damage, but it's not that far off. This is basically like a 50% increase. I'm cool with that, dude. I'm very cool with that. And the only other thing we might like for time-saving purposes is to see a second secret room en route. I'm just going to be honest. I didn't even see that champion shot coming in. If we get to a second secret room, there's a 1/3 chance we won't even have to backtrack in order to get the golden teleporter charge. But this is like... I understand if you're watching this right now, you're like, this is just mental white noise. There's not a... You know, it's Isaac, is I guess what I'm trying to say. And that's fair. That's not our secret room. Well, I really would have rather had the bomb for the fight, if that's going to be the case. But it's fine. Life goes on. This would be a very good opportunity for the game to be very nice. You know, it's not my birthday. It's not my anniversary. It's not Christmas. You know, the next holiday coming up is Labor Day. You know, people don't get each other gifts for Labor Day. The day is a gift in and of itself. Then you got like a Halloween. So we got a long ways to go before we're really in, like, you have to give me a trinket of your affection territory. And if you really want to give me a trinket of your affection in the fall or winter season, just release the DLC. But they gave me a golden gift nonetheless, and I gotta tell you, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's leave. Yeah, no, I'm okay with this, actually. I think we're right to leave the Emperor card just in case there was a Krampus in there. We haven't found our secret room, so this will be second secret room. That's fair. And then the other golden teleporter with a full charge should be Error Room, which is Curse of the Tower. Don't teleport me. I'm willing to go for broke here, dude. I can't believe we didn't kill him. Bad gas, power pill, range up. Okay. I'm not going to take Curse of the Tower. I'll tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to use the Emperor card. No, let's not. That's laziness talking. We actually are, we're in a much better position as a result of ceremonial robes. So it's not like, you know, this run is actually pretty good now with ceremonial robes and also Incubus. We need, you know, obviously, if possible, getting rid of Are You a Wizard, which happened while I was talking about it, would be nice, but shot my own bomb out of the way, out of impatience. That's fine. This should be good now. Like, it's just rate of fire. Like, not really the older I get, because I think, you know, I don't like that expression, and I use it all the time. I'm trying to, like, get it out of my vernacular, but I feel like the older I get is a bad faith expression. Because what people really mean with the older I get most of the time is as I get smarter. And I don't necessarily think people do get smarter as they get older. I think, you know, you become... Your attitudes change, not necessarily because of the way that you've you've become objectively closer to truth or something in your life, but because as an older person you have different priorities. Whether those priorities are more noble or less noble than a young person, you know, I think it depends. I think it depends on the person, to be honest. A lot of young people, in my opinion, are overly concerned with vanity. Sure. However, a lot of young people are also very concerned with, like, activism. A lot of people I know in their, you know, 40s, 50s, and older are primarily concerned with, you know, building wealth that is already, you know, past the point of what they need to live for the rest of their lives and, you know, provide for the next generation of their offspring. You know, I think you can be a cool old person. You can be a kind of a, you know, malevolent old person. I think it goes both ways, but I'm going to use it anyway. The older I get, i.e. the smarter I get, i.e. the more Isaac I play, the more I realize that tears are really the linchpin for any Isaac run. You can get around them. You know, sometimes damage can compensate. In fact, I would even say oftentimes damage can compensate for a bad rate of fire. And we did get a better rate of fire while I was talking about this, for the record. But It's, I think the tiers are almost always... They're more likely... Oh, dude. To be the best part. And you might say, well... Or the most important part. You might say, well, then why the heck did you take something that lowered your tiers to raise your damage? Oh, it's very simple. Because we also get piercing shots. And I mean, like, everything I said is for naught when you consider that piercing shots are like, you know, OK symbol, A+, chef's kiss, etc., pizza, pasta, put it in a box. You get the idea. Dude, you know, I was turned on the TV last night for about 15 seconds to see if there was a Seinfeld rerun on, and there wasn't. You know what was on the movie channel? Well, I got a couple of different bits here. One is, there's a movie starring Hayden Christensen. But I'm not, you're like, it's Shattered Glass. It's not Shattered Glass. That movie owns, though. It's a complete slapper. It's, it was called Little Italy, is what it was called. And I was surprised. I was like, dude, I thought Hayden Christensen, like, straight up retired from acting. But apparently, hold up. Apparently, that's not the case. Grab these, teleport. Second secret room, battery charge, deal with the devil. No, I didn't go to the shop. Okay. There is another battery charge. Honestly, we've gotten very lucky here. I can't let that fall by the wayside. I've screwed it up twice here, and we've still managed to make it happen. I guess we could have fought for a battery charge as well, or an item charge in the other room. Honestly, I think we want invincibility from Empty Vessel, but I can't rely on Cambion Conception, I think, to get us there. So I appreciate the invincibility and the ability to fly here. I think we're starting to create a run that we can be proud of. I love this. I did take the HP and I would do it again, because we're going to get a deal with the devil on the next floor. Volcano is fine. Anyway, first I was like, I thought he retired. And then I said, you know what? Good for him. But then after that, I mean, I watched the movie for about 10 seconds and I was like, this is pretty bad in my opinion. Life goes on, you know? I also saw that they were playing a movie on the movie channel called The Nut Job. And I said, what the heck is a nut job? Is this... Because you never know, sometimes the movie channels get a little bit too adult in the nighttime. You know what I mean? I mean, you know what I mean. Like, you know what I mean, though. Like, at night, they start to play the... You know what I mean. Anyway. Where was I going with this? I got distracted. So I looked it up and I was like, or I hit the info button. And I was like, turns out it's a movie about a squirrel. It's like an animated movie, like Bad Pixar or something like that. That raises a whole new question for me. Which is, who at the movie channel headquarters is in charge of programming? Why are you putting a children's movie on television at midnight? I'm not even saying, like... Look, I'm trying to be accommodating here. Maybe there's adults who would want to watch it that are awake at midnight. Maybe there's kids who can't sleep. I don't know why these kids, if they can't sleep, their parents are letting them watch the movie channel after, you know, it gets to the risque hours, but... Okay, but what percentage of people is... I feel like at midnight, you gotta pop on, like, you gotta pop on Heat, you know? Michael Mann's magnum opus. That's not where you put on The Incredibles 2. Although, to be fair, The Incredibles 2 is a decent movie, so, like, I would consider watching it at that time. I just feel like that's, you know... I'm just done with it. Like, it doesn't fit. Plus, you could have been playing Seinfeld there instead. Can I also... I want to run something by you. I watch a lot of trashy reality TV. A lot of shows about people with, you know, substance abuse issues. A lot of shows about people who are in prison. A lot of shows about wives killing husbands, husbands killing wives, vice versa. I watch all the garbage, okay? But I gotta tell you, I think I'm out when it comes to cooking shows. I honestly think, and if you like the cooking shows, I get it. I watched a lot of Chopped in my day. I've watched a lot of Cutthroat Kitchen in my day. I've watched a lot of, you know, Jamie Oliver's The Naked Chef. I watched a lot of Two Fat Ladies. I watched a lot of Julia Child and Jacques Pepin cooking rotisserie chickens with 4 sticks of butter shoved under the skin. Okay, I get it. However, I think I'm just full. I think I'm done. Okay, now that we know this is here, actually... Why would you do that? Because you gotta fight the boss. Go ahead and shoot me. Just kidding, I moved. I think I'm just done with cooking shows. And I think what did it is a combination of the Food Network almost exclusively showing Cutthroat Kitchen, Chopped, and Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. In conjunction... Oh, I will absolutely try Bloody Crown. In conjunction with the fact that Netflix, every second show that they've made over the past 25 years, apparently, longer than they've existed, but you get the idea, is about a type of food. Like, at some point, aren't you just, like, maxed out? There's a new show, like, okay, first it was like, hey, you know, The Last Table or something like that. And I was like, I don't really get it, but that's okay. I get you're creating original content. Then it was like, hey, we cook cakes, but badly. And I was like, that sounds like it could be fun. It's not really for me right now, but I sort of get it. And then, like, now, they had street food. And I was like, okay, I guess it's kind of like a travel show combined with a cooking show. You know, they just have a show that's called Taco Chronicles. And I'm like, dude, you've lost me. I can't watch a 10-episode season of television exclusively about the taco. I inherently... I didn't mean to pick that up, which is totally my bad. I am inherently in disbelief that it could be that entertaining. And maybe I'm wrong. But I mean, at some point, you gotta sell me. And, like, I don't know. It's like, you know, those cooking shows people like, it's that one. But this time, instead of being about, you know, whatever, it's about tacos. I'm like, I just don't... You can't... You've lost me, is really what it comes down to. At that point, you've lost me a little bit. You gotta... I don't know how you make cooking interesting at this point, you know? I think I've just seen too many shows about food. I think I'm maxed out. You know, I kind of hit that point, you know, like, I can't watch a fiction show that's predominantly about narcotics, but this is kind of a different story. It's because Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, and Better Call Saul even is like, it's more of like a side story element, I guess, but, they're just too good. So I have no interest in watching Narcos, the real Narcos, drug lords, the real Pablo Escobar, the true story of El Chapo. You know, like, I'm over it. But cooking shows, I'm like, dude, you're fully saturated, I think. For me. I'm not saying you can't watch cooking shows. I'm just, what's next? We're gonna have, you know, Cabbage, the untold story. Like, I disbelieve that you can make it entertaining. That's where I've hit the point, I guess. Is I don't buy into the central premise, and as a result, I guess I'm a coward. Yes, I know what I did here, okay? I'm making a gamble that my sanity is going to provide us with more entertainment and perhaps even in-game value than picking up the item or going to the shop. So we're going to grab the Polaroid. We're going to grab all this. And this is where, dude, this, you know in Apollo 13, they slingshot around the moon to get enough momentum to make it back to Earth? That's what we're doing right now. I temporarily lost myself and also morale. And now that we've entered into a part of the game where we have some leverage, we're using said leverage to restore a little bit of my confidence in myself. There we go. Dude, I feel so much better now. I wish we had some form of mapping, but, you know, it's not an insult to not use Golden Teleporter here. If anything, it's almost complimentary, because Golden Teleporter is like, you know, it got us where we needed to go, to the extent that, you know, as of right now, we don't actually need it as much anymore. So we will walk in. Peep it. You never know what you're going to get. And then just send me on a better path. Alright. Thank God for Golden Teleporter. I forgot we had item rooms on the womb as well, so we skipped more than usual. But it is what it is. Oh no, we missed out on a mini mush on the last floor, potentially. Something as good as a mini mush. I do wish we could fly here. Definitely, I mean, you gotta take static. I'm willing to get a little spicy here. No? 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 I don't have any money left. He's done it! Go! Send him. Was that worth it? Oh my god, almost certainly not. But I mean, it was worth it for static tiers. I don't know if it was worth it for anything beyond that level. But it is fun. You know, we have fun here. Don't need the golden bombs. We're good to go. This is a danger, you know? This is why, you know, if you hold a man back on his run, you run the risk of creating a mid-run crisis like this. That's why I'm always, you know, sometimes people, they get very accusatory towards men, and it's not really okay. I mean, it's not like it's super toxic, but, you know, people are under the impression that all men have a midlife crisis. Now, I am not, you know, all men. But I'm also not in my mid-age, so I have no idea. Will I have a midlife crisis? Maybe, maybe not. But I really don't think I'm the kind of guy to have a midlife crisis, you know? Or at least, I don't think my midlife crisis would manifest itself as, you know, sports cars and, you know, I trying to maintain the sense of virility through, I don't know, like hair plugs or something like that. You know, I don't think it's the kind of guy I am. And I think it's honestly because, you know, I didn't necessarily rush into the responsibility of adult life, you know? I partied too much in college. I don't mean the, like, do you like to party, wink wink sort of way. I mean, like, you know, me and my friends drank too much in college. We had some wild nights. As a result, by the time I reached, you know, my early to mid-20s, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty much done with that. Like, I've done it, and it's kind of, like, boring, and I'm over it. And I've never really been, to be honest, like a possession-driven, materialistic person. I don't think I'm the midlife crisis type. But in Isaac, oh, I was having a mid-run crisis. You know, I moved so slow. It's I missed my opportunity to have the salad days of my youth. And now we're making up for lost time in a huge way. And I hope you just recognize as part of the psyche. I do, you know, I wonder sometimes, I don't know, if you're gonna go through a midlife crisis, you know, it's kind of like, it's a thing for a reason, I suppose. You know, there's nothing you can really, there's nothing I can say about it. That's just like, you know, just don't go through it, forehead. But like, whenever I see like a dude that's old being a jerk, I always, you would think that let me give you the perfect example. It's a story I go to all the time because it's one of the most like rude things that's ever happened to me. Kate was driving. I was in the passenger seat. I guess it didn't even happen to me in this sense. I was just present for it. And she had to be in a different lane. She had space. There was traffic, but she had space. She signaled, and then when she went to move into the lane, this older gentleman in a convertible BMW with the top down sped up to, like, you know, passing gear and got into the spot, then looked over at our car and made a finger wave like, you don't get to move in. And I bet in that dude's head, he was like, man, they hate me because I'm rich and I got a BMW. And I'm like, first off, dude, we're not hurting. Secondarily, that's kind of not really part of the conversation. I just want him to know. I'm not envious of him on an economic level. Secondarily, I really just felt bad. Not for him necessarily, because I think that he's beyond saving. But, like, I felt bad that, like, sad that this is how he had to feel like he had value. Was like he had to be a jerk to demonstrate to the people around him who do not care at all that, like, yeah, check it out. I'm a big man in a big car. You're not taking my spot. That wasn't even my spot. I think it's just sad. And I think about, like, how that must inform, like, the relationships that he has with, like, his family and friends and co-workers. And I'm like, oh, dude, you don't even know it. But you're living a doubly tragic story. I mean, I'm making a few assumptions here, clearly. But you're living, like, a doubly tragic story. First, it's tragic because, you know, you're in your 50s and behaving like a teenager who's also a jerk. And then secondarily, you think you're like a bad boy, but really everybody just looks at you and goes like, oh, is he okay? Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It's a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya.